Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Emma LaFave, and today we are going to be playing some flower color guide roulette, but we are going to be doing it with my big pack of Caran d'Ache watercolor soluble crayons, oil pastel things. We're going to use these because you know what? I want to, so that's what I'm going to do today. So let's jump in and get started. Okay, so I had so much fun painting these flowers. You guys know I love painting flowers and I can't get enough of it. So I thought I would try again to paint a flower at random from this book, but instead of just using my regular watercolor, I wanted to try to do it with my Caran d'Ache watercolor crayons. I actually have the bigger pack next to me, so I'll probably be taking colors from there. I've done a couple of videos on this already. They are water-soluble oil pastels. They are so much fun to play with, but I haven't really created too many flowers with these, especially one flower that I am picking at random. So I thought I would do that for our video today, just because I love flowers and I love spring and it's just making me happy. So again, I'm painting in my Etcher Lab Cold Press watercolor sketchbook. This is the Portrait B5. I have my flower color guide, and for brushes, I was actually sent these watercolor brushes from Etcher. I don't own these ones, and I thought I would make these my dedicated Caran d'Ache watercolor crayon brushes, because if you guys have watched my videos, you know that there's quite a lot of scrubbing to kind of render out the color with watercolor crayons. So I don't want to use the same ones that I use for my regular watercolor. They won't damage it necessarily, but it could dull the point. So I thought I would give these a go and use these as my dedicated brushes for my watercolor crayons. So this set, let me just move this book, comes with a bunch of round brushes. So there's a size 1 round, a size 3, a 6, an 8, a 10, and a 12. And then you get a flat, half-inch flat wash. You get an angle brush. You get another flat, a 1/4-inch flat, and then you get a fan brush with this. Like, you guys saw that I tried a fan brush in the past. I'm not the biggest fan, but this could be fun for some sort of texture later on. But yeah, I thought I'd use these, and it comes in this really cute carrying case, which is a lot of fun if you are traveling. I would definitely suggest keeping these tips, the plastic tips. So if you are traveling, you can just put these back on, and then you just put that over and you roll it up, throw it in your bag, and it's really great for traveling. So that's a lot of fun. So I'm going to be using these brushes and, like I said, my Caran d'Ache watercolor crayons. Okay, so now it's time to pick our flower. I'm going to close my eyes and pick it random. Ah, Icelandic poppy. Here we go. Okay. I have done Icelandic poppies before. I have not done them with the crayons, so this should be interesting. But we're going to give this a go. This actually opens pretty well right here. So I am going to keep it open. I'm going to put the picture of it up to the side. Okay, this makes me less nervous because I'm not saying that they're easy, but they're on the easier side. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all the colors I'm going to need. So they're like these corally kind of peach colors. So let's see what we have in this pack, shall we? So there's not like a coral peach, but there's like a pretty bright pink, like well, this is called purple, but it's pinkish. And then we need like an orangey color to kind of mix them together. We're going to need a pretty bright orange, and then like this greenish center. I feel like this Chinese green would kind of be great for that. Also, like a brighter yellow green, and then something for the stem. Maybe this moss green. And then maybe just like this peachy pink, which is the salmon pink I think we're going to go with. So we're going to try that, and then I'm just going to grab a white just in case. Maybe a red too. Do I grab a red? Let's grab this light cadmium red just for fun. Okay, and let's see which colors we actually end up needing. Okay, so if you've seen me paint with these before, you guys know that you can apply them 2 ways. You can draw right onto your page, or you can use a separate side palette to draw the color onto the palette, and then you can pick it up with your brush, kind of like a traditional watercolor. So I might be using both techniques for this just because, I don't know, I just haven't tried it before. And we're going to play around. But I feel like to start, I'm going to draw it, I think, because that's kind of the purpose of this. I'm going to start with my light orange color, and I'm going to just do an outline. And I'm not going to do all the poppies, I don't think. I don't know. I'm going to do a few of them. Again, we're not trying to make it exactly the same. I'm going to try and draw this outline. And the center is going to be right here. Let's do another little side view, one right here. It's like a lot of scoops. I don't know why I'm so nervous. Probably because I don't know how this is going to turn out. I really don't, especially with these. And I think maybe, you know what, I'm just going to do one more. I like this open one. I'm going to try to stick this in the middle. I just like the shape of all those open petals. I'm just going to try and have fun with this. No pressure, just fun. And the center is going to be there, center is going to be there. So I got to make sure I leave some space for the center because it's yellow. It's hard to layer on top. These do a pretty good job layering, but I don't know. I'm going to put the base in first of where that greenish yellow is. And then that kind of tip there. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but that's okay. I'm going to put the center in. And this one, you don't see too much of it. I'm going to add a little bit of my bright green because it's a bit more on the greenier side. It's pretty cool. Okay. And then I'm going to start applying the color. So I kind of want to get this mix of this peachy pink coral color. So I'm feeling there's like a lot of orange. Now, like I said, you can put them on the palette and mix them that way. I kind of want to try and mix it on the paper and see how that goes. So I'm going to start adding a bunch of orange in there, and I'm going to try and curve the lines going around. I have to remember there's yellow here for the stamen. This one's not as orange. I'm not going to add too much orange. I'm hoping the yellow will just kind of layer over nicely, but we'll see. This one's a bit more on the pink side, so I'm not going to add too much orange. Like that. Let's get our like magenta kind of color in there. Not too much because I don't want it too bright, but this is going to be a good dark color, I think. And then I might just fill it in with the rest of that lighter pink. And the great thing about these is that you can always layer colors on top. Like you render them out, let them dry, and then layer some new colors and just kind of keep layering. So it's a lot of fun to use, but I'm still also learning, right? So I'm just going to fill some in with pink. I don't want to get all the white areas because I do want to leave some white space. Well, not white space, but some lighter highlights. So that's why I'm leaving some white there. Okay. I don't know what to think. So let's get our brushes out here. Oh, this could be tragic. I don't know. I'm going to use some round brushes, I think, for these. Yeah. And we'll see also how these brushes work out. Okay, let's make sure we get any of that kind of gluish stuff off of them. Okay, and I'm going to start with the size 8, and I'm just going to start wetting it up and blending them together. And I'm leaving some of that texture behind because I kind of like the way it looks. And I'm going to leave some white space closer to the center. See, the only problem with mixing it on the page is you don't know exactly the ratio of the colors you put down, so you don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. I feel like this is a little bit orange heavy, but that's okay because we can add more color after, or even while it's still wet, we can just pick it right up off of the pastel. I never know really what to call these. Like, they're watercolor crayons to me, but they're also wax pastels that are just water soluble. I don't know. But I call them watercolor crayons. Okay. So I'm going to pick up, or you know what? I'm going to put some of my pink here. While this is still wet, I'm going to add some of this pink to it. Like that. I'm just kind of also adding a little bit of texture. Then I'm going to wet my brush, like wash it off, and I'm just going to kind of blend into this white area. So I'm going to take some of that color, so it's still the color of the petals, but a lot lighter so we can layer that yellow on top. And then I'm also going to kind of render out the center here. I feel like I need a little bit more green in that center. I mean, it's not quite coral, but it's close. It's still kind of cool. I like it. Okay, let's move on to the next one here. Now this side view one is a lot lighter, a bit more pinky. Grab a bit more pink. Do some lines. Like that. And then let's do this one. So these brushes so far are nice to work with. Like, they're not too stiff but not too soft. They have really nice points on them, which they're keeping quite nice. They seem to be pretty durable, withstanding this scrubbing motion, which is great. They're actually pretty nice. They're a little bit softer, I feel like, than I'm used to, than my brushes, but they're actually pretty nice. These are going to be nice to use with these crayons, I think. I love how the crayons are leaving behind this texture underneath. Especially for poppies, I feel like there's so much texture in those petals that this is just really nice to have underneath. It's just fun. I think I'm going to add a bit more pink. I think we need more. So this palette I got off of blick.com. So if you are looking for this palette, I'm sure they have it near you. I had to order these crayons from Blick. They did not have this large pack in Canada at all, and it was so frustrating. So I had to order from the States, which was crazy expensive, but it's for work, so sometimes I can justify that. Look how cool that looks. I like it. I feel like I might add some orange in there too, just to brighten it up. I love how vibrant these are. They're so fun. Just adding some more color while it's still wet. That's fun. Okay. And then I'm going to do the center of this. Just kind of render that out a bit. I'm just going to do a light wash over here so it's not too white. Okay. Then, while we're waiting for that to dry, I'm going to do the stems of the poppies. So this one kind of comes out here and down. So I'm just going to go with my moss green. Then this one I'm going to have coming out the back like that. And then this one like so. But I'm also going to add the Chinese green to get a little bit of brightness in there. Like that. I'm going to take the smaller brush, my size 6, and I'm just going to go over top of it. This actually might have looked better if I picked it up from the palette, because you can't really scrub out the texture of this too much just because it's such a fine line. You don't want to make it any bigger, so that's a lesson learned. I think next time I would just pick it up from the palette, the color. We can even get a bit more right from the bottom of the crayon. Like that, to just kind of have it a bit darker, like right underneath of the, or behind the petals. See what I mean? Kind of, sort of. All right. And then, oh, I didn't do this one, my bad. Okay. Okay, and then we're gonna wait for those to fully dry before we continue. Okay, so now that it's dry, we can start doing some of the details. I'm going to take some yellow and start to just do these little bits for the center. I know it's really light, you can't really see it. So I'm going to try and add some darkness around it to make the yellow pop. Yeah, it's like so light. It's all good. I'll figure it out. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do there, I'm going to mix my pink and my orange here. And then I'm just going to kind of go in between. Just kind of go around like where the little stamen bits would be with the darker. See what I mean? I don't know if that's actually working, but it's fine. Just going around so you can hopefully see a bit more of that yellow. So it's kind of like we're negative painting. We're trying to paint the yellow by painting the darker color around it, if that makes sense. Get it, kind of? Okay, like that. And then that center green, I want to make it a little bit darker. Just put a little bit of shadow. So I'm going to kind of outline that part. And then just kind of bring a little bit of the darkness to the base. See that? Again, we're painting around that lime green center with the darker to kind of make it pop a bit more. There. And then this one, you don't see it as much. I'm going to try and go around because you see more of the yellow bits like that. You still see a little bit of it. Okay. And then I want to do more on the petals with that pink and the orange and maybe even some like red in there. Just going to grab all the colors. Okay. Let's mix it all and just see what color it makes. Yeah, I kind of want to make this like corally color, right? So now I'm just gonna do some more, just what's it called? My brain is just gone. Detailed lines. There we go. Just trying to make it a little bit darker. Brighter. A little bit more orange in there. That. Actually, I'm kind of liking the way it's turning out. I'm actually surprised. I didn't know how flowers would turn out with these or with this medium. But it does help that you can kind of like use it like regular watercolor paint too, right? But I do enjoy the texture, and I actually might use some of the texture after. Like just to add a little bit more to it. I want a little bit more darker pink. I'm gonna need more pink towards the center. I'm just using this like flicking motion to get these kind of strokes. Just gonna put a bit more darkness in between here. Cool. I like this one a lot. I'm going to try and get a little bit more darkness towards the center here. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay. And then lastly, I might just want to add like a little bit of texture with the actual crayon, just to give it a little bit of style. If this is not your vibe, you don't have to do this part. I just kind of like that extra little bit of mixed media look to it. And it kind of just makes it look a little bit more intense, I find. It just intensifies that color. Like, look at that. That's fun. Sorry. I'm having so much fun with these. I never, ever in a million years, like, thought I would enjoy watercolor crayons. I don't know why my mind has changed so much. Because I tried the water-soluble pencil crayons or colored pencils before, and I was like, yeah, they're okay. Didn't love it. I wasn't always a big fan of texture either. Like, any kind of granulating paints, I was like, meh. But I don't know, something's changed. And it's just pretty cool. I feel like this one, the perspective is a little bit off, but whatever. Wonder if I deepen over here. Maybe a bit more of the darker green. Just deepen it. Like that. And then if you wanted to, you can always add like white highlights if you want. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of it. I love this one, and that one's okay too. But yeah, there we go. There are our Icelandic poppies. Yeah, this shape's a little bit off, but that's okay. So fun to do, and I really enjoyed that one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram and all my other platforms for tons more content. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.